Hi guys, I'm Vernon Kid here, coming to you again. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to another review, guys. Once again, happy holidays to everybody. Happy Hanukkah to those who celebrate Hanukkah. Um, we're here to deliver. I'm here to deliver the review for the month of December, for the week of the 10th. That books that came out December 10th. Got a good stash here. Um, enjoy the wallpapers in the background. Um, I'll start doing that a lot for the review, guys. I promise you guys the new opening will be next year. I'll pop the new, so we got a couple of weeks, and you'll see I'll have my opening back up for my review. Um, so we're gonna kick this off in Marvel, and we're gonna end in DC. So we're gonna go Marvel, Independent, and then DC. And I got some news to tell you guys as well in terms of books. So first off, let's kick this off with Amazing Spider-Man number 11, Dan Slott, one of my favorite artists, Oliver Coipel. This is part 3 of Spider-Verse. Once again, like I said, this has been really good. This is, I guess you could say, round 2 between the Superior versus Amazing. And it did my heart good to see Superior get knocked flat on his back by the real Peter. It was really good. It just shows you truly that Peter has not forgotten all the training that he learned under Shang-Chi, and even Shang-Chi helping him create his own martial arts style, considering known as the Way of the Spider. Um, in this issue, we get to see a lot of things in this, uh, especially a touching scene that I was actually looking forward to in the scene in this series, between 616 Peter and Spider Gwen, which was really touched because that actually uh, got me misty-eyed about it, because it was just like it captured what I was looking for. I spoil a little bit of it. Basically, at first Peter didn't want Gwen being anywhere near, the whole fiasco with but he kind of says, you're gonna come with me. You and Ayana are gonna come with me, and things like that. And he telling her, he basically says, I couldn't save my Gwen. And she's like, yeah, I heard. And she's touching him and saying, I couldn't save my Peter. And she says, let's make a deal. We watch each other's backs. And Peter says, sounds like a plan. Cosmic Spider-Man, or Captain Universe Spider-Man, in this gets a rude awakening. We get to see Morlun's dad, and boy, does he make a statement big time in this. This issue ends on a, oh no, like, what are they gonna do moment. But like, once again, like I said, if this is Dan Slott's final run and arc, and he's going out with a bang, because as of right now, Spider-Verse has been really good. Not gonna lie about it, but yeah, very, very good indeed. I liked where Miles and, I guess, Ultimate Spider-Man, cartoon Spider-Man, went with universe. They went to the 1960s 7, and to get the 1967 animated Spider-Man. I thought that was funny as hell. I was like, oh snap. But yeah, it's good, very good. Next up, we go to the Amazing Spider-Man annual number I don't know why it's number one, but anyway, um, this was a fun annual. Was it worth $4.99? No, it wasn't. At best, I would say $2.95 or $2.99 at best. It's broken up into three stories. All are just really funny, um, but just shows you kind of the day in the life of Peter Parker. In the first story, it's called, what was it called again? I Can't Help Myself. It was written by Sean Ryan and Brandon Peterson did the artwork. Brandon Peterson's artwork was really good. And in this episode, Peter, is doing his usual Spidey. Sometimes he just takes time and, patrol or just he likes to web sling around the city. And unfortunately, while he's helping, he finds a missing phone. So it becomes a duty for Peter to find this, bring this phone back to the person it belongs to. And people are just like, why are you doing this? And he's like, hey, he helps out Hawkeye with a robbery attempt, and even Hawkeye even says like, you're really gonna do that? And he's like, yeah. Does Peter find the guy? Yeah. Find the people? Yeah, he does. And they even say like, Spider-Man, you're a superhero, right? And he's like, yeah. And he says, she's the wife of the man whose phone Peter has. He says, and you took the time out to do this? Why? And I love Peter's line. He's like, cause I can. Basically, I thought it was fun. The other issue, which other story wasn't really a story. It was more of a it's called the Amazing Spider Ant, and it was drawn by Cal Atkinson in the same artwork as Foster's Imaginary. Remember that cartoon from Cartoon Network? Aunt May looks just like Foster, Miss Foster, and it was fun. The next story. Hello, everybody. Yeah, the next story basically is another funny issue where um, some lesser known villains are about to rob a bank, and they're attempting to rob a bank, and they're talking about like, oh, I hope nobody finds us. And then you look up and you see Peter coming down, the traditional Spider-Man style, and he's not talking. He's not saying a word. No quick banter. No joking. No none of this. And the villains are like, yo, what's up with that, Spidey? And he just literally just beats the shit out of them. And the Shield agents come, wrap them up, and they're like, thanks for the assist, Spider-Man. And all of a sudden you see why Peter's not talking. He's like, he had laryngitis, and I was like, oh, that was pretty funny. But as funny as it was, this annual was, I don't think it was worth $4.99. But what do I know? I'm just a fan. This annual is still available to anybody who wants to read it. The code is still available, so just ask me. That goes for people here on YouTube and on Twitter. So we move on to Amazing X-Men, and this ties into Axis. Chris Yost, oh my God, sir, you are a treasure, and you're a damn good writer. This was excellent. Basically, since Nightcrawler has been inverted because of Axis, and his mother has been inverted, so Mystique now is kind of quote unquote good, while Nightcrawler is kind of twisted. And this is basically the story of a mother trying to make sure her son doesn't go down the path that she went down. down. In this story, you see Mystique do some things that you would never see Mystique do ever. She's being tracked by SHIELD agents. However, she beats them down. But here's the thing. She apologizes for beating them down. Like, she even says, "I'm sorry." And she starts to regret all the things she's ever done in her life that hurt people. And she takes it upon herself to make sure that Nightcrawler doesn't go down that path. Nightcrawler is in his native Germany, and he literally goes to confession. He's talking to the father, and he's talking about, look like he's gonna confess his, sins, but no, he's saying like everything I've ever been through as a child, and he's like, you humans, basically fuck you humans. I'm gonna do it my way, and if you get in my way, I'm gonna run your ass over or do worse. And he literally starts to stalk this father, chases him down, and it's up to Mystique to make sure that, Kurt doesn't go down his path, that he kills somebody. And she does a damn good job of making sure that Kurt doesn't kill anybody. Like I said, you see Mystique doing some things in here that you would never see the real Mystique, do. She wouldn't give a damn about. There was a scene where I love the scene, and I'll spoil this for you guys, when she finally gets a hold of Kurt, and she's like, "I have you," and Kurt is just porting everywhere. He's porting. Now, as you know, when Kurt ports with people, you get kind of a funny sensation, like your stomach kind of gets all twisted up and you might throw up. Kurt ported like 10 times with her, and she's like, 2 ports I can handle, but 3 to 10 to 5, it's hard. But she's like, "I'm never gonna let you go because you're my son." And it's just like, wow, just hearing how Mystique is talking in this, very much you're like, imagine if she was like this all the time. But this was really good. Mr. Yost did a very good job with this. This is another title that is still available. The code is still available if anybody wants it. Just ask me. I'll give it to you. Ask and you shall receive. Okay, we move on to Avengers number 39. Hickman, Mike Deodato, another one of my favorite artists in there, does the artwork. First of all, I love how he draws Carol Danvers, Ms. Captain Marvel. It's beautiful. Once again, this is still continuing the Time Runs Out storyline, and the Avengers have been divided, and this has just still been weird to me because, once again, it's like, when does this happen? Is this a possible future? You name it. It's just so weird at times. I mean, Hickman does a good job writing, but then it's like, I'm scratching my head because it's like, when does this happen? How did this happen? But it was good, but it's just hard sometimes. I have to read. Anytime I get Avengers or New Avengers, the Time Runs Out stuff, I have to read at least 3 times to really get it, like what's going on. But that's it. All right, let's move on to Avengers World. This is another title that is still available. The code is still available. Anybody that wants it. Avengers World. Nick Spencer, I think, does the writing, as well as Frank Barbary, and Marco Chelito does the artwork. This is a tie into Axis as well. Doom has assembled a small group of heroes that wasn't hit by the Red Skull, that weren't on Genosha, and we're inverted. You got Valkyrie, 3D Man, U.S. Agent, Eliza Bloodstone, and Stingray. And of course with Valerie as well. And they're not really. We find out that they were put together not to take out Scarlet Witch, who has just gone completely insane and trying to kill Doom. It's more of something else, because Doom is another one that's been changed, and he is another one that's regretting everything he's done, and his hatred, his egotistical manner, the way he treats his people. A lot of things. And you're looking through this eye of Doom, you're like, wow. Nick Spencer captures that very well in this. I was really impressed on how he captured that. And what they do is they actually capture Scarlet Witch for a short amount of time, and I would say drain the essence of her chaos magic, and just enough so basically Doom is able to do something with it. Apologize about that. So I'm going to spoil what happens. The one thing Doom has regretted doing is being the cause of the death of a certain young heroine by the name of Casey Lang. So what does he do? He uses the essence of Scarlet Witch's chaos magic along with his alchemy and brings Casey Lang back to life, because that was one thing he's regretted. And we're going to see the results of that more in the Ant-Man book that comes out next year. I was really scared when I heard that, they're bringing Casey back, but because I was like, oh, they're just going to do some time, some half-ass time, few time story, timeline story, they're going to bring her back. But they didn't. So literally the reason she's back is kind of a result of magic. So I was like, okay, I can take that. And being the person who brought her back, being Doom, even makes a little bit even more sense. So I have to give Marvel credit for that. And I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. The one that killed her brings her back. So yeah, in this we get to see the return of Casey Lang. All right, Axis number 7. 2 more issues to go before this event ends. And I must say, this event has not been that bad. So it's the heroes, the astonishing Avengers that are made up of all the villains that have been averted. So we're talking Carnage, Absorbing Man, Hobgoblin, Enchantress, Sabretooth, Mystique, Jack-O-Lantern, people like that, against the inverted X-Men, who is led by Evan, who is taken on the form of Apocalypse. And some of the other heroes that weren't on Mirror Island at the time, like Spider-Man, he wasn't on Genosha when Red Skull did that. Old Captain America, his son, the new Nomad, and things like that. They tried to stop this bomb that the X-Men are going to set off. The inverted X-Men are going to set off on Manhattan Island, basically, on the island of Manhattan. Basically, it's supposed to wipe out the humans and leave anyone who has an X gene alive. This was good. For any Deadpool fan in this, you're not going to like this. Apocalypse beats the living hell out of Wade. I'm talking literally, and leaves him headless. But this was good though. Not bad. Once again, it was good to see the who was that? Joe Kubert? No. Adam, excuse me, Adam come back to do the artwork. All right, Guardians of the Galaxy annual #1. We got Bendis and Frank Cho comes back to do the artwork. This was fun. Basically, the concept is that Carol is kind of homesick. That's the name of the title, Homesick. Carol is homesick, and she's communicating, I guess, via recording, and basically telling us how she feels about being with the Guardians and being out in space all the time and being missing Earth and missing this, missing that. I literally think she's talking to Jessica, because she's saying, I miss you and Luke, I miss the love you and Luke have, I miss baby Danielle, things like that. Then all of a sudden, while she's recording, all of a sudden, the gang witnesses the shield helicarrier come through like some kind of vortex in space. Next you know, they get a knock on their hull, their spaceship's hull, opening up. It's Nick Fury. And Carol's like, Nick, what? Rocket she salutes Nick and things like that, and we get to find out that things are not as what they seem. And I swear to you, when they go back aboard the SHIELD helicarrier and meet all the old members of SHIELD, like Dum Dum Dugan, Gabe Jones, Jessica Drew, Stillwell, Clay Quartermain, and Jimmy Woo, they look like Frank Cho draws them straight out of the Starship Enterprise. I am not joking about that. Jimmy Woo looks like Sulu, George Takei's character. I'm not joking. There's a character here who's supposed to look like Ahura. I hope I'm saying her name right. I'll even show it to you. Look at that. Look at Jimmy Woo. Right there. He looks like Zulu. And Carol is like, what the hell is going on? Especially when Nick Fury tells him that he's out here to stop the Kree Skrull War. That war has been over for several years, and it's like, what is going on? Is this time? And the story gets really good from there. And I don't want to spoil too much to all the plot, but you find out what's the cause of it and what's the act out of it. And it was really cool to see, young Jessica Drew. My favorite line in here is, at the end where, Carol was just saying, like, I miss all this. I miss affection. And Groot comes by. She says something about, I even miss being hugged. Groot comes by and hugs her. And, it was great. It was fun. The banter between Rocket and Nick Fury in this was just classic. But it was good. Logan Legacy, #6. One more to go for this miniseries. Tinian the Fourth does the writing, and this is all about Mystique. This story kind of jumps between time, present, and 1974, where we still get to see when Irene, aka Destiny, is still alive, the only person that Mystique ever loved. And we get to see, her basically trying to get her plans to fruition, and Wolverine is always there to stop her. She even asks Destiny to look in the future and see, when is Wolverine ever going to die, things like that. And it gets very interesting from there, especially towards the end. Once again, I don't want to spoil everything for this as well, But this was good. It wasn't bad, but still, so far, none of these has been able to beat issue number 2 with X-23. But it was good nonetheless. Nightcrawler, number 9. Chris Claremont still does a fantastic job with this. Without spoiling too much, now that the Shadow King has control of all of Kurt's friends, the X-Men. Yes, the Shadow King is back. And we get to see that, Kurt, to defeat his friends, Kurt really has to go through the motion of remembering the training, how he was taught, especially through the eyes of Wolverine. And it's very cool, and you just, once again, you see the love that Kurt had for Logan, and really good stuff. I'm not going to spoil, does Kurt get out of here, but it was really good. This kind of sums up a lot of, what goes on, but I love how Kurt handled himself against the X-Men, whether it was Beast, Iceman, Psylocke, Rachel, Storm. How he was able to help Storm was funny as hell, but he knew that was the way he had to go with it. But it was good. The Punisher, number 13. Is Nightcrawler still available? I think. Let me make sure. No, it's not. Okay. The Punisher, number 13. Edmund still does a good job with this book. Basically, this is Edmondson gives us a kind of an in-depth look at the all-new Howling Commandos. And what I got in this was very interesting. One reason why they call themselves the Howling Commandos, why they call the new Howling Commandos. And literally, it is for respect and homage to Nick Fury's Howling Commandos. And we get to see what makes them tick, how they were and how they are as a unit when they're on a mission together before what's going on now with them and the Punisher. We don't really get into too much detail of why they're coming after the Punisher, but we do know that someone has made it their mission to go after Frank by any means necessary, and that means even kidnapping and using the only family that Frank has left as bait. But still, it was good nonetheless. Very good. Thor. I'm sorry about the cover. Okay, got the Thor number 33. Not 33, 3. We get to see Lady Thor, I'm going to just call her Lady Thor, come face to face with Malekith. And he's kind of intrigued by her, and, he's really intrigued by why she wears a mask. And remember, she's been cut off from Mjolnir. And the longer she stays away from Mjolnir, the weaker she gets. Her powers start to fade, and she's fighting frost giants and doing a hell of a job with it. But also, she's kind of channeling her inner Thor, because she's speaking to us as the reader and saying, like, what would Thor do about this? And as she's trying to reclaim Mjolnir back, you can clearly see everything starts to deteriorate. Her mask and just her all over appearance. And she's really scared. She's like, no, not now, not now. So it's kind of showcasing that she doesn't want her identity to be shown yet. But very good stuff. And the ending, I knew it was coming. I didn't know, Mr. Aarons, you were going to do it that quickly. But yes, in the 4th issue, we get Thor and Thor meeting, and Thor is not happy. He literally claims out. He even says it. I'm gonna even read it to you. He even says, unhand my hammer, woman, or know the wrath of Thor. So it's like, but this was good. Aaron's, keep up the good work, my friend. Here it is, Spider-Man and the X-Men #1. Who does the writing? Elliot Kalan does the writing. And Marco Fala does the artwork. This was fun, a good start to the series. Um, we get a reason of why Peter has been brought in. It's not just because Wolverine asked him to, but there's more into it. I'm not going to spoil what that is. You just got to read it for yourself. But the one thing I will say about this is the adult X-Men, like Storm and Iceman and Beast and things like that, they come off really douchey in this to Spider-Man. And I'm like, you guys have worked with him for years, and now, it's like, they're like, this is more of a mutant thing, and it'd be really weird to have a non-mutant, teaching our students. And it's just like, are really, you guys are going with that? It really makes, this really makes the X-Men prejudice. And somebody would probably call them out on it. Like, the X-Men in this are really kind of racist and prejudiced towards Spider-Man. And he takes the students. The students he has, I'll show who he has. He has Ernest, he has Eyeball Boy, Glob Herman, No Girl, Hellion, Shark Girl, and Rockslide. And he takes them to the museum, and he's trying to teach them, the ropes of history. And a character I have not seen in years, a Spider-Man role we have not seen in years, is in this. I'm gonna spoil who it is. The dinosaur man himself, Stegron. I was like, wow. And later on, we see who Stegron teams up with. Carl Lycos, aka Sauron. And they have plans for the island of Staten Island. That's all I'm going to say. But this was good. But like I said, the X-Men come off really douchey. Very much. They come off like dicks. Okay, X-Men number 22. This is Mark Guggenheim's climactic end to his story arc. What's the story arc called? Exogenous. This was alright. It wasn't bad. It could have been worse. But we get to see the X-Men deal with these hybrids of Skrull and Brood, things like that. Rachel confronts the people, as well as what that also is story is about, confronting the Shi'ar. And Rachel, she does something that you kind of was like, wow, I can't believe she did that. But she pays her respect to her family at the end of the issue, which was really good. Deathbird in here was like, oh. But other than that, this was good. All right, let's move on to Independence. We got the climactic end to the Flesh and Blood story arc from X number 20. Dwayne Rosinski. Oh my God! Like, how many times am I gonna say it? You want to talk about some violent shit? There you go. X dishes out his own kind of justice to the Mad Doctor in this, and oh my God, does he? He even takes out his pig-faced henchmen. They're wearing this mask that's made out of swine, and oh my God, guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, it gets bloody, it gets dirty, and X literally shows you that don't fuck with X. If you come to Arcadia to do harm to his city, he's gonna fuck you up, and yeah, he does. Good stuff. Boom Studios, George Perez's Sirens #2. Yeah, it's been a while. The Sirens have come to terms that every time they have to try to save the Earth, but doing the way they go about doing it is just going to get the Earth blown up. One of the Sirens has kind of stopped being what she was. And you know, they're not, some of her, even her fellow teammates are kind of like, you're a coward and things like that. This was interesting. Once again, this has still been a very interesting title. It's only a 6-part miniseries, but like I said, you can get really lost in this sometimes. George Perez's artwork is just spot on. He does double duties in this. I am looking forward to seeing where this ends, but other than that, not bad. Oh my God, yes. Eastman and Waltz TMNT number 41. First of all, I love that cover. I really don't want to spoil anything on this. This has just been fantastic. All I'm gonna say is what Krang is about to do. Holy shit! What Donnie did in the last issue took a lot of balls, and mm, mm, mm. But this was just so good. I don't want to spoil anything. Sorry, guys. So we move on to the last indie book, and I picked this up. I was interested in it, but I also got a little bit of an incentive from the writer herself. I was on Twitter, and I asked her. I said, "Hey," Kelly, Miss DeConnick, or as I call her, Miss D, uh, what do you think of this bitch planet? Yes, let's get it. Let's get a close up on that. Yes, read it. Bitch planet. Should I pick it up? She said, I'm kind of biased, but she left it up to her fans, and everybody said the same thing. I did it just to get a rise out of her because I was going to pick it up. And I told her, this was good. Miss Kelly Sue DeConnick does good writing. Basically, think of this as Orange meets Black meets space. This prison is in outer space, and it's an all-female prison, and I'm going to let you know right now, yes, this has extreme nudity, and I'm talking extreme, where you can see, but we get to see some of the prisoners, I guess, who are going to make up this title, which is really interesting. The pacing was really good. The drama's there, and it just shows that, you know, Kelly. All right. 3 DC books. All right. Batgirl 37. Look, Gail, I made a promise to you, and I usually always, I keep my word on it. I gave my word that I would read the first 4 issues. I'm not going to be able to do that because, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I am dropping this title. This did nothing for me, but just clearly showcased that what you go from the fantastic dynamic writing that Gail gave us to literally, as I want to say, taking Barbie, dyeing her hair red, putting a Batgirl suit on her, and that's what you're getting with this. Literally, people are impersonating Batgirl. It's so, so social media heavy. Babs tries to, and you find out who the person is. Find out that the person that's doing it is not even female. It's a goddamn man, and I'm spoiling the hell out of it. I don't care. This title did nothing for me anymore. It is sad that I have dropped both female Bat character titles and I'm dropping this. Yeah, that did nothing for me. Um, I love Batgirl, guys. Don't get me wrong, but this is not Batgirl. This is Green Lantern Corps number 37. This was good. John Stewart steps up big time in this, and man, does he step up. And I love how he's able to step up and showcase, yo, John is no dummy. He can be a leader. This is another title I really don't want to spoil anything on. But I will say this: High Father is coming off as a complete arrogant dick, and it's to the point he has brainwashed the Indigo tribe into helping him. It's just like, what the fuck? It's like, holy crap. And we get to see that in this. And I love how John is able to defeat one of the new gods in this. You can't beat him with your ring, so what do? You take their weapon and use it against them. And man, oh man, does John do it. And I'm just going to end it right there. This was good. And last but not least, Justice League United, number 7. Jeff Lemire still does a fantastic job with the writing. The League is still trying to get Ultra, the little alien boy that the team has been keeping watch over. They are now joined forces with the Legion of Superheroes, and they put on a classic tale of just seeing this generation meet the next generation of heroes, which was fine to me. Nothing else really to spoil and say it was bad, but it was just really good to see some of the Legionnaires interact with, the League. I loved where one of them was like, don't worry, Mr. Queen. Ollie's like, what the hell? Like, how do you know my name? And I'm not. My identity wasn't going public, and then basically they spoil his future. Oh, it will. You will go public with it. I'm like, why did you tell him that? Don't tell him that. You don't spoil someone else's future. But this was good, nonetheless. Very good indeed. Well, guys, that is all that I have this week. I hope you guys enjoyed my take. Give your thoughts as well. Keep those comments and everything coming. That is how you enter my giveaway. But other than that, as always, this is Bob and Kid saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys. As always, happy holidays once again, and I am out of here. Take care. Adios.